Welcome to Punishing Dumb-Ass Openings. But I have a problem. I'm not sure that the title Punishing Dumb-Ass Openings really goes far enough to describe the game that you're about to see. Well, it's not really the game, and it's not really the opening. But you're going to have to decide for yourself. Because my opponent here plays the London system, right? He's rated 1165 in Blitz. Lots and lots of people play the London system, and the London system is not a dumbass opening, right? But there's something different about the way that Prem Narain Mishra plays this, okay? I don't think there's any way that I can soften the blow for you guys in this. You're just going to have to experience it for yourself. And it's something that I've mentioned before, okay? And this really comes, in if there's a list of cut that shit out, right? What my opponent does in this game has to come pretty close to the top of that list, okay? Okay, so let's dive in. Well, you don't have to wait long, okay, to find out the what's so profoundly dumb about this, because he does it on move 2. Okay, so we have pawn to d4, because he's a London system player, right? And I play pawn to e5, because I play the Charlotte Gambit from the England Gambit. And my opponent is a London system player, so my opponent does what London system players do and brings his bishop out to f4. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may be able to spot what's dubious about this move. Oh no, my bishop, right? So he hangs his bishop, loses a piece on the 3rd second of the game, basically. And from then on, all I have to do is simplify down. Okay, he brings out his knight, I pin it. Right? Yep. You put your piece in a pinnable position, and if your opponent can pin, that means your opponent is guaranteed to be able to exchange the material. Okay? I'm a bishop up. I've got a spare bishop. I'm going to trade it for a knight now. Bang. And goodbye pawn structure. A little bit. I bring up my knight. He plays a pawn forward. Swap it off. That's all I've got to do. Simple as. Castles. Okay, crack on. I've got no pawn structure. I don't control the centre very much. Don't matter. I've castled my king. And now all I need to do is swap off my stuff for his stuff and I end up winning. Okay, stick a pawn in the centre. Attack the knight. Okay. Oh, I'm going to break the pin because you're not going to want to trade your bishop for that. Well, bring out my other knight. Now the pawn attacks. And I decide to come back here. I don't have to trade right now. I would end up with 2 knights against 1 bishop, which is probably fine. But let's stick the bishop there, attack the queen. Bring the knight into the middle, attack the queen again. Oh, but queenie, you've got to be quite careful because you can't go back to that square. Why not? Okay, because look, bang, bang, bada, boom. Best be very careful not to go back to that square. Excellent job. Goes back to c1. That does, however, drop this pawn. It also actually, this pawn is also hanging here. Must be noted. And my opponent's spent 39 seconds so far of his allocated 300. Okay, and he's down a bishop and a pawn now. So he offers a trade of bishops, not realising that his rook's hanging, so I take his rook, then I take his bishop, and then I give check, and I give, centralise the knight again, and I grab his knight, and so on and so forth, and it's going to end all very quickly. His queen comes in. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Check out this, right? Those of you who are familiar with the concept of the knight fork will know that this format. So imagine you've got a knight on this square, yeah? Look, one, right? Any two of these, if you've got pieces that are in any two of these squares in this configuration, okay, they can be forked by a knight. So adjacent diagonals can be forked by a knight, for example, from here, okay? Or that, as we know, can be forked by a knight, okay? But so can this, okay, the long L. Okay, that can be forked by a knight, etc., etc. Now, if you've got a knight on this square, no, not this square or this square, then it can fork both of these, obviously. Now, I would love to do a royal fork and fork the queen and the king, but I can't because there's a pawn here. But then I realise, actually, I have two knights, both of which can deliver a royal fork. So what do? Offer him one. Okay, and he cleverly he realises well, I don't know how clever are we talking? Okay, well he goes, oh no, my king, I'm in check, I best get out of the way. Loses his queen. So he presses on bravely and check, and that's checkmate. And he spent 1 minute 59 seconds and wasted 1 minute 59 seconds of his own day because he played move 2 without thinking. Don't make a move without thinking. I've got an OTB match tonight, Darnell and Handsworth, and you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to be shouting at myself in the car, Hunter, you muppet, you muppet. You will take your time over your opening moves, because my last over the board game, I spaffed my opening and didn't think it through. This time, I'm going to spend literally minutes thinking about my opening moves, he says. But anyway, watch this space. But I mean, as dumb-ass openings go, I mean, this is hard to beat. And the problem is, it's not wrong with the opening, but whatever opening you play, you've got to pay attention to what your opponent's doing. Don't just bash out your own moves, right? It's an interaction. It's a relationship. Yeah? I mean, this is just ridiculous. Now, I bet you're thinking, yeah, but how many people do that? Well, follow me over to the Lichess Explorer. Now, okay, where's my Lichess Explorer? Here we go. Okay, so this is what we're talking about, okay? The England Gambit. So, white's played pawn to d4. Black has played pawn to e5, the England Gambit. Now, the best move here, and the most common move, is d takes e5, okay? And white wins 52% of the time. But you've got to guess, what are the settings on the player's database here, okay? So, most common move, okay? And in fact, it says on the side here, d5 is another option. But according to the engine, actually, you really should take the pawn because it's the only one that maintains white's advantage. You can also play e4, which transposes into the centre game and maybe the Danish, if you want to do that. Okay, that's fine. You can also play knight to f3, which might tempt this, but you know it's kind of like a reversed Petrov, isn't it? Or you can play c3. Now, how many people play bishop to f4 here? Well, let's see. Is it played? Yes, it is. Okay. In fact, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, 8th, 9th. It's the 9th most commonly played move in this position. Now, place your bets. Are we talking bullet chess? Are we talking 1600? I mean, Lichess players database only starts at 1600 up to like 2500. Are we talking the lowest settings at bullet where people just go, right? Or could we possibly be talking blitz, right? Maybe blitz at a push, 1600, 1800, do you think? Nah. Check this out. The settings are 2000 and 2200 and 2500 in rapid. Rapid! It's like 10 minutes plus. And Egypts are still doing this. Right? Now, if we expand it to like blitz and rapid, let's look at the lower levels, 1600s and 1800s, blitz and rapid, yeah? I'm not even looking at bullet, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still the 9th most commonly played move. And how often is it played? 1% of the time. It's literally every 100 games, some Egypt will troll out bishop f4. Beggars belief. But if you're a London player And I know there's a lot of you out there because I was a London. Look, in fact, do you know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do, right? We're going to go back to this. Okay, this is my list of games. I'm going to go. Have I ever done it? I've played a heap of London games. Okay, my games with the white pieces. Pawn to d4. Okay, how many times have I seen pawn to e5? 51. So, statistically speaking, I shouldn't have ever played bishop f4. I haven't. No. In this, I've always played, apparently, pawn to e4. Okay, but is this a transposition into the Danish? It could well be. It could well be. So, yeah. I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, so I'm glad about that. I haven't done it, but lots and lots of people have. If that's you, don't do it. Cut that shit out. Never do it again. Always look at what your opponent just did, okay? Never play a move completely automatically. I know I've like pre-moved moves in the past and come to regret it, right? It only takes a moment to see what did my opponent just do and why, okay? And there you go, that's the lesson for today. Shame for my opponent, but not really, because he brought it on himself and carved a whole new subterranean dungeon in the underground complex that is punishing dumb-ass openings. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.